case you are brand new to this, my name is Ashley Sirokis. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist. I'm a doTERRA Diamond Essential Oil educator, and I'm a branding and website expert specifically supporting wellness entrepreneurs and health business owners. I'm known for being super strategic. I'm known for being super transparent. I don't do any BS, and I love to teach systems with soul so that you can free up your time that you're spending on a lot of other stuff instead of doing what you actually want to do. I want to get you back into your zone of genius and get you back to the place where you can help people. So today is day 5 of my Website What live stream series, and today we're getting a little bit more personal. So today we are talking about how my website saved my business with the context of sharing with you my journey and my experience and my living with chronic anxiety. So when I say chronic anxiety, I think most people today, I think that they could really be characterized as having anxiety. We live in a very stressful world. There's to-do lists, there's things to do all the time. But truly, my anxiety can be debilitating at times. And I'm talking like I literally cannot even get up off the couch. I can't get on phone calls with my team. There are times when I can't go to the grocery store. That is a very stressful place for me to go. I don't eat in restaurants. I can hardly pick my son up from school. Like when I say, and hopefully I won't get emotional when I say this, when I say that I intimately understand you out there, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you have another chronic illness where you just feel so frustrated with your body, you just feel like your body is letting you down and it won't let you do the things that you want to do, especially in your business. But if it's at the point where I can have my anxiety, it literally affects every part of my life. And I kid you not, and this is why we're talking about this today, that if I did not have a website for my business, I probably would not be where I am today, where I'm actually making the money that I am, where now I'm able to invest money back into my health. This month alone, I'm spending about $1,500 on various tests to test my hormones, test my gut level. And this is why I became a holistic nutritionist. So let me share the story of my anxiety. So I did not grow up with anxiety. I was always a very high achiever. Now being a holistic nutritionist, I look back and learning about adrenals and thyroid and hormone health and gut health and all of these things. Like I don't know how my body didn't fall apart before it actually did. I managed to get through university, my 5-year degree. I have a bachelor's of science majoring in geophysics. And it was a thesis degree. I did a 5-year co-op degree. So I worked every 4 months in a different city generally. I graduated with honors. I graduated high school with a 94.3 average. I graduated nutrition school as the valedictorian. But I was actually supposed to lead. I see my life as having these forks sometimes. And I don't know if you know this about me, but right from my undergrad, I went to the University of Waterloo here in Canada. All my Waterloo people, what's up? But I was accepted from my undergrad to I had a full scholarship offered to me from MIT in the States. I had a full scholarship offered to me from New Mexico Tech and also Arizona State. And I ultimately decided to do my PhD right out of my undergrad, skip the master's altogether, go right to PhD because I wanted to be a professor. I wanted to teach. I've always wanted to teach. I realize that's been the commonality between no matter what I'm doing. I'm a teacher at heart. I love educating others. And last year of university, I wrote I forget the LSAT, not the LSATs or MCATs, they're the GREs to get into, schools in the States because I wasn't applying to any in Canada. I had a lot going on. And there were signs throughout, especially being a teenager and especially in university, that my body was not keeping up with the level of stress that I was asking it to be under. A lot of GI issues, I would think I was tested for mono 4 times in university. I kept saying like, I'm so tired. And they kept saying, well, let's test you for mono. And I'm like, it's not mono. I'm tired all the time. There's got to be something that's wrong. I look back now and say I was like, my adrenals, I think have been screwed my entire life. If any of you are holistic practitioners out there and you know what adrenals are, you know what I'm talking about. There is like no chance that my adrenals were not completely tapped out. And this is why I had my body breakdown. But leading up to those months of graduating, I started getting sick. I got viral bronchitis and could not leave my bed for 2 weeks. My parents had to come get me at school and bring me home because I couldn't even feed myself and get out of bed. Like when I say I was bedridden, I absolutely was. I defended my thesis sitting down because I did not have the energy to even stand up and present the work that I had been working on for a year and my 150-page undergraduate thesis. I started seeing these signs. I had skin breakouts. I was starting to get like cystic acne. And then I handed in my thesis. I wrote all my final exams. And then the week after, my body said, fuck you. Like literally two huge middle fingers up. It broke down. I was driving up to Ottawa to work that summer with the wonderful advisor that I had that helped me get into graduate school. And I had my first panic attack driving on the highway at 120 kilometers an hour on the 401. And I didn't know what it was. I thought I was dying. I turned around and came back home. I was like, I called my mom. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I need to come home. And we thought I just needed a week off. So I called my boss and said, I'm taking a week off. And he's like, no worries. And then we tried to drive up again. This time my mom came with me. She was going to fly home from Ottawa. It's about an 8-hour drive. And I got 2 hours away this time and panic attack, complete panic attack. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was just like freaking out. So after that happened and we realized something bigger was going on, I went to the doctor, was put on medication for anxiety, big life transition. We had these discussions. I went to a counseling group of people who legit had like life issues, like divorces, losing their jobs, family members dying, them having cancer or other major illnesses. And I'm sitting here going, I just graduated with top marks with a geophysics degree and I have a full scholarship to a school in the States. I don't know why I have anxiety. I now know it was my body like, stop what you're doing. We need to rest. And I didn't know that because I did not study health. I had no health background whatsoever. So fast forward a couple months, the panic attacks were still happening. I was like, I cannot move to Arizona. I cannot go do my PhD in another city. I've not even been to Phoenix. Like I hadn't even been to school. I had not visited. I hadn't even talked with the professor. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I dropped out. I had to call the person and say, this full scholarship and doing my PhD, which meant a lot to me, I decided to not do it. And I thought, okay, I'll go get my master's at a local university. I'll go to teacher's college. But again, my body had a different timeline and I was getting shortness of breath. I didn't feel like I could drive anywhere. I literally felt like I was walking on a boat. I was so unsteady. I felt dizzy. Cystic acne, could not keep food in me. Anytime I tried to drive anywhere, it was like pooping all the time. Like I had to know where every bathroom was. My body was just stuck in complete nervous adrenaline fight or flight mode, like all around the clock. So I was going to different doctors, going to different specialists. One's like, it's your blood sugar. One's like, you're just anxious. My doctor actually said, are you sure it's not all in your head? And that was the impetus. He had been my doctor my whole life. He knew that I was healthy. He knew that I was not a complainer. I was not a hypochondriac. Something was deeply wrong in my body. And he said, are you sure it's not all in your head? And as women, I know that we've generally had that said to us at least once. So I knew that there was going to be no support in the Western, medicine paradigm that we have going on right now. And I didn't know what a naturopath was. I didn't know that there were options of getting support from other people. I didn't know what a naturopath was. I didn't know what Reiki was. I didn't know what an herbalist was. I didn't know what homeopathics were. I didn't know what supplements were. That's not what my background was. And I was driving down the street in London one day and saw a sign that said naturopath accepting new patients. And I didn't know what a naturopath was. And something in my gut said, you need to call that person. My intuition's actually, I have very strong intuition. I called them the very first appointment. Are you sure you don't have food allergies? A couple months after that, diagnosed with, all the food allergies, which led me to become a holistic nutritionist. So during this time, as soon as I stopped eating everything that my body was saying, do not eat these things: wheat, gluten, eggs, dairy, chicken, turkey, bananas, blueberries, and radishes, which I never ate radishes, but literally everything that I was eating on a daily basis, my body just was like, no. So as soon as I stopped eating those, my anxiety lessened. So during that period of my early 20s, my anxiety was very physically driven, very adrenally driven, very gut driven with my food allergies. And once I got rid of all those things, we're good to go. So for many years, my anxiety did not control my life. I was able to get married and able to walk down the aisle and able to be the center of attention and grow my business and work full time. And then we got pregnant with my son, and we got pregnant in late January 2012. He was born October 6th, 2012. And we spent 4.5 months with him in the hospital. He was born, the day that he was born, he had 2/3 of his small intestine removed. We didn't know if he was going to survive. It had died inside of him while he was in utero with me. It was a very strange situation. Literally just what we think is just a complete fluke. And so when we brought him home at 4.5 months old, he had a colostomy bag, which was reversed at 7 months. And to this day, he's a very healthy, happy, properly digesting, properly eating, properly growing, and developing 6.5-year-old boy. But as you can imagine, that trauma of what we went through, my body just, again, my nervous system was like, I'm done, fight or flight, 24/7. When Alex was just over a year old, my body broke down. Like, I was not okay. I didn't even know that I was so not okay that I didn't even know that I wasn't okay. I couldn't get off the couch. I remember my worst day just sitting there. I'd had a shower, hyperventilating in the shower for no reason other than my nervous system was in fight or flight, and rocking back and forth on the couch with a towel on my head in my pajamas going, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. And my son, who was just over 1, toddled over to me and just learned to walk. And he was like, up, up. And I couldn't lift him. I could not lift him because I was not okay. And ever since then, that is how my anxiety has ruled my life. I'm able to show up live here because I'm having a good week. This week happens to be a good week. But that level of anxiety and trauma, and what I know now is undiagnosed, but PTSD, is prevalent in all areas of my life. I go through periods where I'm very productive during my job and my work that I show up for you guys with. But that leaves my nervous system in a wreck. Like I said, I'm getting testing with my adrenals and everything right now. But, you know, my body is very sensitive. I think I'm okay this week with my anxiety and being able to show up live with all of you because I honestly stopped drinking black tea and I switched to green tea. And my black tea, I would only steep it for 30 seconds because the caffeine affects me that much. And I switched to not drinking that this week, and all of a sudden my anxiety is better. Like, this is how sensitive my body is. It's very frustrating, and I never know when it's going to be triggered or not. So it's really hard for me to show up for live things. It's really hard for me to be in crowds. It's really hard for me. Like I said, there are some weekends, the last couple weekends, where I haven't even been able to go to the grocery store by myself. It's so overwhelming, visually, sensory, that my nervous system just freaks out. So that's how my anxiety shows up. It might be with you if you have a chronic issue. It might be, things like nerve issues, multiple sclerosis, pain, other mood and mental disorders, physical limitations. Like, there are so many issues. And generally we start businesses like we do as holistic health practitioners because we turn our mess into our message. And I'm definitely getting better. I'm definitely like 5,000% better than I was a few years ago, but I'm still a work in progress. And I still do struggle with anxiety on a daily basis. Like, I schedule appointments around when my anxiety is going to be good. I do my appointments first thing in the morning because I can't guarantee that at 3:00 in the afternoon when my adrenals are tanking, that I will not be hyperventilating on the couch. And I don't know when that's going to happen day to day. It's very hormonal related, which is why I'm getting extra hormone testing done right now. But that's how my anxiety rules my life. And I realized at one point that if I wanted to have a successful business and I wanted to support myself financially in the way that I needed to support myself so that I could hire help to balance out all these things and get help with my own health and take care of my family the way that I need to do that, which might be hiring extra help because there are some days where I legitimately am not capable of doing that. I knew that I had to have a successful business. I knew that I'm not fit for working in the regular world. Like, I truly am unemployable by any other business or corporation because I can't show up in that way every day. So I knew I had to develop a business that could grow and scale without me having to show up on any single or every day, because my body, I've just had to accept that my body is not always capable of that. And I say that with the utmost of love to myself. And I'm not using this as an excuse or a mindset belief or anything. Like, there are days where my body, all that I can do is lay on the couch or nap, or I have to nap in the afternoon, and I cannot work 8 hours, much less 5 hours, much less an hour. So how I use my website is, it is the thing that is there, because we're talking about websites this week. My website is the thing that is there, whether I can show up or not. You guys know, and I'm telling you this because some of you are, you message me. We have this relationship. Nicole's here, who I grew up with. I don't know if she's still live on, but if my anxiety is bad, if I'm not showing up here on like Insta stories and I'm not showing up on Instagram posts, that I'm either my anxiety is really bad or I'm just overwhelmed with the amount of work that I need to do. But regardless of whether I show up on Insta stories or I'm doing a Facebook Live or I'm educating people in my Facebook group for my essential oil team, whatever it might be, I can still have my website that sits there and collects new email subscribers every day. And those email subscribers get sent a lovely welcome email series that leads them to one of my paid services. And some of them do purchase. I know that 1% of the people who opt into my Light Up Your Biz quiz will end up purchasing my Brand Build blog course. I know that because I track the statistics. I know that anywhere between 4 to 8% of people who download my Brand Build blog checklist will ultimately purchase my course. I know that because I have set these things up to be able to work behind the scenes. So when I'm having a good day, I will do extra work. I will show up live. I will do things that I can do when I'm good and my anxiety is good. But when I'm not having a good day, my business is not falling apart. So the ultimate question to ask yourself, and this is why if you have a chronic issue, if you are not able to show up, or maybe you don't want to. Oh, Nicole, she says, I'm here. You're so strong. Don't ever doubt yourself. I'm crying because Nicole is like one of I knew her and I've known her intimately. We played ringette growing up. She's been my teammate since we were like 8 years old. And that's really sweet to say. And your guys' support means so much to me. And sorry that I'm crying. I'm not even like PMSing or anything. Obviously this is a topic close to my heart. And if any of you are struggling with anxiety, mood issues, health issues that get in the way of you doing what you want to do with your life, I'm here to show you that it doesn't, while it might control you and it might control the way that you spend your time, it doesn't have to limit you in growing a business. And actually, if you have those chronic health issues, your only option might be to grow your own business, or that might be the thing that actually works the best for you rather than working for another company who doesn't completely understand that. And to be honest, their bottom line is you have to make them more money because you're an employee. Thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. You guys are so sweet. I just don't like crying in front of people, especially in front of like strangers on the internet, right? Like that's, I always cry. I'm the crier. I'm a crier. I don't always seem like I am. I mask it with humor. But I feel very deeply, let's put it that way. So the ultimate question to ask yourself, if you want to grow a scalable, duplicatable business that's going to be there regardless of whether you can show up on that particular day or not, the question is, if I had to step away from my business, would I still have an income? Now, it might be that you want to step away for vacation. It might be that you want to travel the world with your family. It might be that you want to spend a month in the south of France in June. Like that, it doesn't have to be health related. It could actually just be, I want to spend my time the way that I want to spend my time. And that's why you want to have a website and you want to have this sustainable foundation that you can draw upon and build upon brick by brick that over the years is going to become stronger. You need that foundation. And that honestly is your website, because look how, yesterday I did an amazing interview with my friend Andrea. We were talking all about how she literally went from like no business to 60 paying customers in her first year. And she used her website as part of that. But because of a glitch on my phone or Instagram or whatever the hell it is, that video is gone. That way for me to grow my business is gone because I chose to only go live on Instagram and not do the interview joint on Facebook, where I would have been able to record it. But like, honestly, completely out of your control, right? So if you had to step away, so that first question is, if I had to step away from my business, would it actually grow? The second part of your business is, no, would I still have an income? Sorry, I'm looking at my notes, guys. So the first question is, if I had to step away from my business, would I still have an income? And then the ultimate dream to be able to say is, if I had to step away from my business, would it actually grow? There's a difference between your business status quo and maintaining an income or it actually growing. Lori says, I struggle with anxiety in the rainy season every year and lose so much time in my business. So I'm grateful to see how you figured out how to build your business working around your anxiety. And this is why I share this story, is because the loud people, not the loud people, but the people who you are hearing about most often, and the people who can show up all day, every day on social media where all of the noise is, are the people that are not struggling with the health issues. Because when you're struggling, you don't have the energy left to go live on this and show an Insta story of you making muffins. Like, no, it's not sexy, and you're not going to take an Insta story of you in the fetal position in your shower trying to wash your hair because you've been on the couch for 5 days and you haven't washed your hair. Or you're a new mom and you haven't, like, no one is sharing those Insta stories because no one wants to hear when we're struggling. They want to hear that we're struggling, but in like a tied up in a bow, pretty bow type way. All the people that are okay and are healthy and don't have these issues that are physically demanding, like there are lots of different issues of why people may not be able to show up in their business. But when you have an overtly physical issue going on, that really does limit you. This is why I'm a doTERRA Diamond, and I did not go to leadership this year, and I did not go to convention last year, and I'm not going to convention this year, is because it is so fucking overwhelming for me to go to those events that I literally will be on the couch for a month after. And I have to look at it and say, is it worth me going to this one event and my team seeing me? Because it's not about me. If someone were to ask me, do you want to go to this large event? I'm like, no. But if it's like there's this responsibility of leading this team of doTERRA business builders, and because I'm in network marketing, that is the only thing that makes me feel like I should go. And we all know that if you feel like you should be doing something, you probably shouldn't be doing it. But that's why I have to look at everything in my business, every opportunity that comes my way, every idea, because I'm an ideas person. Every idea that I get, I have to funnel it through this lens of, is this right for me and my body? Because, and there's a lot of comparison that I have about all the shiny, pretty people with their perfect lives and their perfect houses and their perfect health and all of these things, right? That we look to, that we're saying, we feel badly about our own limitations because we're not showing up in the way that they are. But we also don't know what's going on behind the scenes. No one's life is perfect. They all have their struggles. But when you have an overtly physical illness to overcome, or a disorder, or just the way that your body is, it's really good to know that you don't have to build your business in any one specific way. This is my entire platform right now, and why I have a quiz on my website is I've been doing this for 11 years. And yes, are there ways that I've had success? Yes. Are there ways that these big names, like in whatever your network marketing company is, or in your niche, or these people that we look up to that are authors and have cookbooks or whatever it might be, they're showing up in the way that works for them. And a lot of time when you're first starting, you go, but I have to do what they did because they're successful. And what I've learned over these 11 years of wisdom and collecting experiences in my business and in my personal life is that you absolutely can build your business in whatever way you want to, but it has to work for your personality, or you are going to burn yourself out. You are going to have health issues. And if you are someone like me who is an introvert with limited energy that you can give out to other people before your body physically shuts down, then a website is going to be a freaking godsend for you. So this is where some things like my content strategy are, I put up the blog post and maybe I record the video on a good day when I'm not live. Maybe that time I just happen to say, I'm going to record this, just me talking to the screen, because I can't handle going live today. But I take that video and I upload it to YouTube and I upload it to Facebook. I might edit it down and create an Instagram story or an IGTV episode, but then I put it in my blog post, and all roads work back to my website, because that's where I'm going to collect people's email addresses, and that's where I know I'm going to convert them into paying customers. So we can't, there are ways to work around it. And I didn't know that these systems existed when I was in the struggle. I think this was like I said, I have a really good intuition, and I knew at some point that I'd need to get my business online because I needed to not have to show up one-on-one with nutrition clients, which is what I was doing at the time. And I knew that was so draining for me. It was draining for me before I had a child, but now I had a child, no less to mention a child with a colostomy bag, and hopefully he would be normal growing up, but we didn't know that yet. I knew that I did not have the energy reserves to work with people one-on-one. I didn't see it as a choice, but to have to go online. And I know that's how many of you feel, but you also, if you're okay doing that, it's also a way to scale and duplicate yourself and to provide this platform where more people can experience your amazingness, right? So now, whenever I have new customers, visit my website, maybe they're brand new visitors, what we call cold visitors, maybe they're on my email list, maybe they're deciding to work with me or not, they pre-qualify themselves by experiencing the blog posts that I share, the challenges that I share. They know whether they want to work with me or not before they even get on the phone with me. They don't need to get on the phone with me, and I don't need to spend an hour talking to someone in most cases before they become a paying customer, because there's a wealth of resources on my website. And to be honest, if someone is not resourceful enough to work through some of the blog posts on my website, I don't want to work with them. I now am at the level where I can say, if someone's not resourceful, they can go to someone else's team. I'm not interested in being the cheerleader for this person and to literally carry them. I am looking for resourceful people that know, they might not know all the answers, but they know where to go to find the answers. Or they know that there are things like Google or YouTube or an amazing training program that I have for my doTERRA team that people want to pay me for, that there's a wealth of videos, and if someone's asking me questions of if something's answered in my blog post or one of my training programs, I don't take the time to answer their question anymore. I'm like, here you go. The answer that you're looking for is in video, whatever the title is, right here in my training program. Or I answered this in length on my blog post. Take a look at this. Let me know if you have any other questions. Because I'm not interested in working with people who are not resourceful. I am not interested in working with people who are, now, mind you, everyone has questions. Everyone needs help. But when I send someone an educational article, so, I'll send you an article. If you have a question, I'll send you to my training program if, let's say, you're on my doTERRA team. But if you have a question after that, because you didn't even click through to it, and I know you didn't because you're like, maybe the first thing on that blog post is like the answer to your question, and you send it back and you're like, oh, no, like, what's this question? And I'm like, it's literally answered in the fucking second sentence on this blog post. That tells me that you didn't even click to the blog post. Like, I have stopped answering those questions because I'm just like, if you're not going to click a thing on your phone to get the answer, there is no helping you. You're not interested in helping yourself. So I can say that now, but it cuts down on so much time on Messenger and on DMs and back and forth with people because they're able to get the answers themselves. And so that's what I use my website for, is especially blogs, is, okay, I'm getting all these questions about this specific thing. What is a way for me to duplicate my experience and my education that I have to share on that particular thing? Let's put it in a blog post. Let's put really in-depth training with either a video download or a checklist or something. And now I've created this. So yes, it took me 5 hours to write the blog post and create all the resources. However, the next time someone asks me that question, and the questions that are your very common ones, how often you're sending the same answers to people, not the same people, but different people, but the same questions over and over again, because obviously there's a gap in the amount of education you're offering if the same question is coming up. If people are asking you the same questions, it's letting you know that that is your opportunity to create a duplicatable resource, because not only are you creating a resource on your website to send these people when they have questions, so you're saving time by just going, oh my God, I've answered that on my website. Here's the link. Go read it. And there's a great meal plan or something you can download. But if they have those questions, other people have those questions, and all the people, like, here's your customer base is like teeny tiny over here, and here's the world. And the world has billions of the same question, and the opportunity for you to answer those questions for those people is amazing, because those are the people that go, oh, this girl knows what she's talking about. I think I need to work with her. That's where they become paying customers. So you're able to take the same resource that you took your time to create, and you're able to use it for existing customers to strengthen that relationship. Because I'll say a lot of my customers are repeat customers. It's much cheaper to acquire a repeat customer than, because they already know how amazing you are, than to find new customers. So you can support existing customers to get them to become repeat customers with your resource over here. But that same resource can then be used to find new customers. So that is like the epitome of scalability and duplicatability, is that you are creating one thing and it can be used in multiple ways. Again, which is like the syndication model that I teach in my courses. I'm recording this video here. I will then take it and upload the first 10 minutes to IGTV with a link to watch the full article. I'm recording it on Facebook, which is a wide video format, which I then am going to take and put on YouTube, which that then gets embedded on the recording, the website, What Recorded page, which all of you are able to access if you want to see. If you love this live and you didn't catch my other lives this week, please click the link in my profile to go see everything else that we covered this week and to get on the wait list. So this is the last day of lives before my Sunday. Sunday is what's coming up Sunday. I am doing a live Q&A at noon Eastern Standard Time. I should make a countdown timer, which I've been doing all this week for that one, and put it in my Insta stories. But I am doing a live Q&A, and we're all together going to officially open my course for enrollment on Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. You are going to have the ability to get $100 off my course and the option of payment plans, but only from Sunday until Wednesday. If you want to be able to access all of this information I've been sharing this week, plus way more, you will be able to access it for starting at less than $150 Canadian. So if you want to get on the wait list for that, and you don't want to miss that announcement, and you don't want to miss that $100 off deadline, and you don't want to miss the payment plans, please click on the link in my profile or my bio to join the wait list, because you're going to want that. I feel really badly about when people are like, I wanted to join and I wanted the $100 off, but I missed the deadline. And I'm just like, if I break that rule for you, I have to break it for everyone, and I can't do that. So it hurts my heart when I have to tell you no. So if you want that access and you want to know when that's happening, please join my wait list. And I'm not going to lie, like I've shared with you guys the strategy of what I've been doing this week is I am launching a course. I am not shy about saying that. I am offering incredible value that I'm going to recycle in many ways and turn into blog posts on my website. Especially, this is a way for me to test what content works for you guys. I might have an idea of what people want, but it's not until I do a live and I start seeing the reactions that I'm then able to go and turn that into a piece of content, generally a blog post, that is then going to resonate more with other people. So it's really, you guys are getting a front row seat of how to effectively launch something, or how to effectively turn cold visitors into paying customers. You are watching it right now is what you're doing, and you might not even realize it, although I just told you, so hopefully you do. So if anyone has any questions for me, for my live Q&A, please send it to me via DM. I'll also put a question box up in my Insta stories again. I'll get all this uploaded. Cross our fingers that this one will save on my freaking phone. If I don't get this, it's on my other computer anyway. So I will be getting the video recording up today, which is awesome, and not like yesterday. So if we're going to end it here. Okay. We kind of kept within their 40-minute timeline, which is great. I really look forward to welcoming some of you as students starting on Sunday. I'm really excited to see what all of you are going to create, and these legacies that you're going to create, and overcoming these obstacles, whether they're health related, whether they're belief and BS in your head related, which all of us have. I'm really, really excited to give you guys the skills that are available in a million different places, but no one has put it in one place for wellness practitioners to understand with our type of experience and education. So I'm super excited. I will see you guys on Sunday. I'm so excited. I've never been this excited to open up my course for enrollment. I've never had the time to properly prepare for opening my course for enrollment. And the fact that my anxiety has not been out of control this week means that I can actually enjoy this process, which has been a game changer for me, you guys. So I will see you guys on Sunday. I will see you at some point next week as well. I may be popping in and doing some more lives. Thank you, all of you, for being live on. Your support means the world to me. Like, it means the world to me. Okay? So, thankful for these 5 days with all of you. Bye, guys.